Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Duskpunk, where today we have a lot on our plate all of a sudden. we gotta make our union dues, we still gotta eat, and on top of that, there's this whole concern, right? They are not sending us back. We'll die. We will simply die. So, we don't need to eat today. At the end of the day, we'll lose 3 energy, and that's an acceptable amount of energy to lose right now. So, I do think we're going to go to work the line. We're going to prepare and then work the line. Okay, good, good, good. And then maybe prepare and work the line again. Oh, I really appreciate that it remembers. It remembers for you all of the outcomes that you've seen. That's actually very helpful. And that way we'll have a little bit of money in our pockets and we'll be able to pay dues. I think this is a reasonable way to spend a day. And I am absolutely prepared to stress reroll if we flub one of those. Okay. I think we go pay our union dues now for sure. You head back to the Wrangler and hand over your groats. Nasrin takes your money and grins. You're not coward after all. Fellow workers, the crowd turns to face you. Today we have more good news. We have a new member who wants to join. A last-minute convert, too. This here's Grieve, joined the factory just a few days ago. Grieve, please tell us why you join. Well, I mean, it's obvious that our only chance is to stand together, right? The bosses don't respect us. We've got to make them take us seriously. Damn right! Nasrin draws the revolver and loads a bullet. Grieve, will you keep our secrets on pain of exile and stand with your brothers and sisters against the bosses? I don't know if the revolver needs a bullet about this. I mean, I will, yes. Nasrin points the pistol well over your head. So mote it be. She fires. There's silence except for a long ringing. When your hearing returns, you hear the crowd singing and cheering. Grieve, welcome to the Armaments Factory Union. That de-stressed me considerably, which is interesting considering that this... this is pretty much just the game going like, you're taking a morally good action. Here's reward, right? Because if anything, this should probably be a slightly stressful action. Because now we're in the struggle. Now things are in the balance. I agree that I did a good thing, but I don't think it makes sense to lose so much stress over it. Okay, we get a growth point, which I think I want to plow into Endure because I'd like a skill. I guess I should look at what these do. +1 maximum energy or all Endure rerolls get a big bonus. Oh, I like that. Yeah, okay. If I gotta spend my stress, I'm gonna try real hard to get things done. Alright, let's go see the sewers here. So we still haven't actually figured out Solace, right? How much does it cost? 25. 25 is not cheap. We could sell rumors. Any word off the street could be useful for these thugs. They're willing to pay, and this is a free action. Let's go ahead and do this just once. Wow, okay. Ah, the last one's new. Interesting. Here's your coin. That's a lot of money. Okay. We can visit the Sawbones. Visiting the Sawbones still fix you up for a price. So here's the thing. Like, we're still, our Intuit skill is still broken. It says to heal a broken skill, rest at your lodgings. We have rested at our lodgings since we broke it. And I'd be surprised if that was all it took, right? That doesn't really make a lot of sense. But alright, we have some direction on that. There's a specific recuperate action. Well, before I do that, let's do a little bit of exploring. Intuit is precisely the thing we're bad at. Gosh, so maybe not with that. But like, we gotta figure something out. All right, I gotta recuperate. Can I still use the sanctuary? And is the recuperate easier there? It doesn't appear to be. It's all pretty straightforward, really. Well. You stretch out and doze. Slowly, your nerves knit back together. Was that, in fact, enough? No. Alright, well, we ended up with the money, like... I know I'm trying to save up for more solace to have it on hand, but, like, we should probably go ahead and eat. Full bar plus almost getting Tapster's trust seems wild. Or seems worthwhile. So we just have to fill the resting clock, I guess. Well, I suppose let's spend some time resting then, because we do need to get this done. So basically take the whole night off. You know what? Good enough, right? You close your eyes and listen to the city. For the first time in a while, you feel connected to it. It took all night, but we're there. And at this point, we sleep. And you know, troubled sleep on a 7+. Not the worst nightmares in the world. Okay. Even recovered a health there. It does all feel a little bit mechanical, but obviously, you know, it's literally mechanics. What are you gonna do? The lots are closing in. All right. So, we got to make some more money, and more importantly, we got to get some more rumors. Yeah, good enough. I guess actually now that we have really good endure rerolls and our stress is completely lowered, maybe it makes more sense to just go for it and then push. I guess the downside of the push strategy is we have to accept the second roll no matter what on this. So if we do like re-roll a mixed into a 2 or something, that hurts quite a bit. Whereas if we are doing prep and then roll, we're getting the bonus in a situation where we can re-roll if we do get a disaster outcome. All right, the money's not quite as good all of a sudden. Let's go ahead and act here. Your bolts slam home, your muscles and wrench synchronize. Your line neighbors gossip as they heave, and I sure do love that about them. Everybody's real chatty. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the sewers now, and now our Intuit skill is merely very bad instead of completely bombed out. So, let's see if we can find this forger. It's probably worth prepping. 8+. Alright, here we go. Hey, that's not very good. But it also doesn't hurt. I'm gonna push. Okay, good luck. You feel your way through this maze. You find some coins falling through the grates above. Oh, okay. So the better result doesn't even get you more progress on the clock. It just gets you a small amount of money. All right, we will take the mixed result in the future. Okay, we're learning things about the sewers. We're figuring things out. Supposedly there is a forger down there, and we will find them eventually. Should go and buy some food here before we go to sleep. The barman catches your eye. You seem a solid sort. Let me show you something. What is it? The barman nods toward a back room. You follow him through a rickety door and down a flight of steps into the basement. This is something he does to everybody who eats here 5 times? Sniff the air. Dust, stone, cigarette smoke, and beer. Below, you hear voices, shouting, crowing, arguing. Here we are. The room is low, lit by gas lamps. The walls are stained with ancient floodwater. A dozen people are crowded onto mismatched chairs, gathered around a cluster of tables. The voices stop mid-debate, eyes wide and watching. This here's Grieve, Solid Stort. Thought she might be interested in your little group. Well, I do love to join little groups. As he pulls the door to, he pats your arm. They mean well. They're a bit secretive. They stare as he leaves. They're all shabbily dressed, workmen or starving intellectuals. So, friend, are you political at all? Oh, no. He introduced me to a debate club. Their passion is matched only by the volume of their voices. I like this is a risky action. I mean, you could certainly suffer some embarrassment getting embarrassed, making a fool of yourself debating politics. I'm not sure that any good is likely to come of it. We could stand to learn something, I suppose. All right. Sleep fitfully. Watch our closing in, but I'm feeling pretty okay about our position here. I might take it easy on the factory today. We've got to figure out where the forger is down here, and time's getting a little tight. Oops, I should have... Yeah, I'll push myself on that. Because the 7+ gets us that mixed outcome, which is totally acceptable. Okay, that one was really just not meant to be. There we go. Alright, so what have we discovered? You creep to the deepest part of the sewers. You see a fire flickering ahead. Oh, comes a voice, then stillness. I will creep forward. I don't want to call out until I know what I'm calling out to, ideally. You step forward and hear a click very close to your ear. Hands up. You raise your hands. All right, let's get a look at you. The pistol gestures toward the light. Yep, I'm going to just step forward. I would like to think that as a soldier, I developed a healthy respect for the gun and the things that it can do to people. You don't look like a watchman, so I suppose I shan't kill you. What brings you here? Redchick sent me. I need a forger. Ah, the priestly one. Lovely chap. Bit stern, though. Well, I'm terribly sorry to get off to such a rough start. With a customer, too. I'm Osi. She holsters the pistol. She shrugs apologetically. Bygones? Oh, she didn't almost shoot me. She threatened to shoot me. It's very different. Yeah, absolutely. Bygones, I understand. Your tone is irritated, but you don't want to make another enemy. She nods. Clearly she doesn't need any either. So what brought you to the sewers? Weird not to get right down to business, but fine. I used to be a photographer. My photos of the war made people see how horrific it was. But the powers that be didn't like that. So I turned to forging to make ends meet. And now, she bows in mock majesty, gesturing to the dome of the sewer around you. Welcome to my palace. If you should ever need a new identity, I'd be happy to help, just as soon as I can get my hands on some tools. And I'll need plasm. Need a power source that isn't just shit. Okay, well, plasm... Yeah, I know how to acquire these things. We could certainly go buy tools. And I'm inclined to probably do that instead of stealing tools from the factory at night. The guards will take a corpse off your hands and render it to plasm. They keep half as payment. Huh. Well, I don't have a corpse, and I'm not sure what corpse I could afford to make that wouldn't cause me, future issues. Maybe we do go ahead and just work for a shift. I mean, if I'm going to buy tools, I should probably buy tools first. I think I'm fine with that. We have enough money to eat tonight, although we don't need to. I think I am going to go ahead and do this, though. I'm going to push myself for a better result here. There we go. My rumors, please. The grumbling continues. Alright, then down to the plasm yards. We have constructed a machine part, so we could siphon some plasm off from an unguarded pipe if we're smart and careful. Let's prepare to be smart and careful. Full success on a 7+. With a reroll in the pocket. Yeah, we only get 2 ticks on yard security, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to push that. Ouch. And I no longer have the ability to even try it? Oh, no, okay, it worked. It was a little less clear. I should have paid more attention, I guess. I even installed a tap. This should be easier. Even if we prepare, this is still real success on 8+. Not particularly sneaky. But we have need. As you screw on the lid, you hear a shout from the guards. You slip away into the jungle of steel. Do I want to call this good enough? I'm going to push. Okay. Took a little hit there, but overall I'm pretty happy with that. So, supply her with tools and plasm. Let's make sure we do this before we sleep, just in case it's going to take time or whatever. You've got them, she asks. Her voice catches. She needs this. And I did it really fast, too. Well, these will do nicely. Now for the plasm. She takes the precious jar and turns it in the light. I find I'm fascinated by this stuff, repellent though it is. I never understood how it works. One of the mysteries of science, like why a body weighs 3 pounds less after you die. She unscrews the jar and tips a spoonful into a portable generator, careful not to waste a drop. She reseals the jar, closes the generator, and cranks the handle. The machine coughs and purrs, and blue light flickers from inside. She grunts, hefting the generator and setting it down beside a meager workbench. Oh, she snaps her fingers. I was thinking. I know some people who might be able to help you. Yeah? Who are they? Anti-war types. Deserters. They meet under the bridge at Witch's Crossing. There's an old flood tunnel network. Okay, yeah, I'll think about it. Alright, there's no harm checking it out. Now, your new papers. This time's on the house on account of you helping me set up down here. But it'll take a few days. That's not the answer that I want to hear. Okay, it looks like maybe only one day. Because we're pretty tight on time, actually. I guess let's go see about these anti-war types. You head to the bridge known as Witch's Crossing, your feet drawn here by some wandering impulse, and find a set of water-smoothed stairs. Water-smoothed stairs. It's remarkably difficult to say. At the bottom, beneath the arch of the bridge, you find a large tunnel opening. Figures in uniform are huddled around a flaming barrel. They fall silent as you approach. OC sent me? Just want to make sure we establish right away. I'm not a cop. A flicker of recognition. One of them steps forward, a young woman in a beret and a haggard sergeant's uniform. Can we help you, friend? Well, I was told maybe we could help each other. One of the soldiers nods to the sergeant. Dolores, look, the uniform. Army? Not if I can help it. She chuckles. So, how'd you feel about this war and your place in it? A dozen eyes are fixed on you. Well, at this point, we feel the war is unjust, right? We must have either been drafted or felt otherwise initially. But at this point, like, the thing that happened to us cannot be allowed to keep happening to people. And I'm sure our injustice is not the only injustice that we witnessed. So, I mean, the Emperor and his cronies are warmongers. They should pay. Like, here's the thing. I don't know anything about the larger political struggle necessarily, and this is me saying, I, the person. The character totally might, right? This is a place where us being given very little intro and just sort of like dropped into a character makes things kind of difficult, because if I don't know whether it's reasonable that our character might have a sense of whether the war is, being fought for illegitimate means or illegitimate reasons, or, what the like large scale impetus is here, it is kind of hard to say something like this. But I think I don't just want my life back. I think I want more than that. Yeah, maybe revenge is good enough to say the Emperor and his cronies are warmongers and they should pay. The tension eases. Well said, soldier. All of us are running. We just want to live. So how are you planning on getting away? The recruitment office is relentless. Even a good ID can only keep them at bay so long. That's why we have a plan, to hit the office itself. The draft lists are a record of every soldier ever to desert, and every civilian yet to be conscripted. Without those records, they'll have no idea who to snatch. Well, now that's a bold plan. Parentheses, complimentary. Sometimes playing it safe is the biggest risk of all. If we don't act, they'll get us eventually. I think this is something, the playing it safe is the biggest risk of all, is maybe something that resonates a lot with our character. It makes sense to me that we were trying to, like, keep our head down and, not act up, get along to get by. And that resulted in us first being dragged off to war, and second, being subjected to, just be a good soldier and we'll get through this. That ain't how it works, right? As she says. And this isn't just about us. She draws herself to her full height. Her metals tinkle. This war is a travesty. It's grinding up sons, daughters, loved ones, so the Emperor can dominate the continent. She spits into the fire. It sizzles. And I won't be a part of that. Not anymore. Are you with me, Private? Yeah, this sounds like the first opportunity we've seen so far to maybe get some of that revenge we're talking about. And also help some people. But maybe the revenge, honestly, burns a little bit brighter than that. You salute. For the first time since you came to Dredgeport, it feels right. Well, all right, you're one of us now. You guys are not very secure down here. Any cop could have come down here and done what I just did. Before we sneak into the recruitment office to grab the lists, we need information. Guard movements, entrances, recon. She nods to you and sets her jaw. Can we count on you? Okay. What are you guys going to be doing? I feel like I just showed up, and again, I'm not trustworthy yet. Yeah, sure, I'll get you critical information that your operation is going to rely on as a total stranger. Oh, these people might be doomed. So this is going to be, obviously, sneaking and stuff. We'll see. We'll see about all that. First of all, let's get some sleep. Ooh, not too good. Barely get a wink of sleep. The old nightmares. Alright, the Watcher closing in. Let's go ahead and get our food. Passable, nourishing, and many other compliments. Osi holds out a worn passport. There you are. One set of identifying papers. You flip through them. There's your photo and a date of birth that's a year or two off. It's strange seeing a stranger's name beside your face. Oh, and now I'm set up. Let me know if you need anything else. I know a good fence, and I can find top secret documents in a pinch. Wait, top secret, really? Well, medium secret. That's wild that that's the thing that you have access to. Okay, so lower your wanted level. Buy blueprints. You can sell finery down here. She'll let me hang out and take my solace in her base, which I guess is cool. So we have enough money for food. We do not have enough money for more solace, and it's rapidly becoming the case that we're going to need it. But we do have some cash. I would like to get some more solace, is what I'm thinking. Let me work one more shift at the factory. Push. Not ideal. Okay. So that's enough rumors to do 2 sell rumors actions. I have maxed out grumbling, which may or may not be a problem. And also just like enough raw money that we should be able to get ourselves some solace and still be able to maintain a line on food. In the storm of the factory, laborers grunt and sweat. The assembly line is whispers and discontent. And I have had a revolutionary idea. Not a full-on theory, not even a critique, really. Just sort of the base, the embers. One day we'll own this place. Yeah, it's almost like the people who make the things. They should, you should have some kind of control over the way that those things is made. We're getting there. I love that. I love that part of Grim Fandango with the CBs. All right, are we gonna do this? Is this my new goal? Stop by the recruitment office. There's nothing else to do with the union just yet. We have no movement to make there. I guess this is our next most important thing. We can, at the very least, case the office during the day. So, it's a low threat action. We'll just spend the middle of our day watching for this. Oh, can't make heads or tails out of all this information. How can you make a plan out of this? I'm not gonna push myself. I'm gonna just raw roll and hope for the mixed at least. All right, guards move to and fro. Shifts begin and end. And you're no closer to putting together a plan. How does it fit together? Okay. I think at this point we want to head over to the drug den and pass on some whispers. That's pretty good. And then we can get ourselves some solace, which we badly need. Although I will not take it until tomorrow, obviously. And then what? Then we have a whole night ahead of us. Quick transaction. I can keep casing the office. I mean, you know, casing the nighttime security is valuable. Okay. It's a little something. We're working on it. Sleep fitfully, haunted by nightmares, and awake in a cold sweat. Ease yourself into a sitting position And inch by inch you unclench. Oh, sweet solace. Gee, I sure hope this stuff doesn't have any, like, secondary effects. The recruiters expect you to turn yourself in and go back to the war. And damned if you're doing that. No, like, literally. They know you are based out of the sanctuary. It's probably too dangerous to sleep there again. Yeah. Was making sure to get all of the comfort out of it that I could. Alright, we have enough money for some food. Alright, so let's go ahead and take it. We'll get to exactly full energy. And then let's go back to casing the recruitment office. I only need a 7+ mixed outcome at this point, so I'm going to just take it without the prepare. Jeez. We are rolling very poorly today, I feel like. There we go, we got one. You become a regular at a seedy cafe opposite the office and watch. This is a good outcome. You return to the flood tunnel. Dolores and her fellow draft dodgers are already there. Right, what do we have? Each of you offers whatever you've learned about the office. Someone lays down a floor plan. Dolores places stones and groats on it as markers. So, a soldier could get in via the roof, drop onto this balcony, and the files must be here somewhere. All right, we need a volunteer. I'm injured, and sneaky stuff is not my strongest suit. There's silence. Nobody. All right, I'll do it. If it's got to get done. Man, maybe they're all cops. Maybe I'm the stupid one. A smile creeps over her scarred face, and she claps you on the shoulder. Then it's settled. Greaves going to go over the top for us. Smith, guard you, mate. Dragging a satchel into the firelight, Dolores pulls out a brown bottle and tosses it to you. It's time to get your blood up a bit. Who knows what tomorrow brings? It's beer. Fruity, but not unpleasant. She tosses one to each member of the crew. An old Physian drink. It's the last of my stash, so make the most of it. Her men cheer and crack them open. To a brave comrade. We wish her all the luck we never had. I am a little worried about how quickly and smoothly this is all going. And again, with the not knowing who is who of it all. And I would prefer that we had advanced a little bit more slowly for the sake of coming to, like, trust each other and get to know each other, you know? So Physia is the largest island in the sweeping ocean, known for its exotic fruits. I'm gonna go over to Dolores. I'm probably not much for singing. You swig your beer and sit by the sergeant. Private, don't you want to savor it? Well, I'm not much for singing. Why aren't you joining in? The actual answer is I'd rather learn about you, but I'm trying to keep that, a little quiet. I sing all right, but the war knocked it out of me. My parents were from a little island in the sweeping ocean. For 20 years after the Empire came, they watched their town dwindle, their traditions die off. The fish died from industrial runoff. My parents struggled on. They had me, I grew up, and the war started. She breathes with deliberate calmness. The largest ocean on the planet, populated by thousands of tribes across thousands of islands. Most have now been colonized by the industrial powers. I'm going to study her face, I guess. Trying to figure out if she's lying to me. She's staring past you, her brow furrowed, her teeth chewing her lip. She's told this story before. It used to bother her. They started conscripting soldiers, and for the first time, women could fight. She sighs. Decent pay and food, training, maybe an army pension. And if you signed up early, you got a bonus. I jumped at the chance. She shudders. It wasn't what I'd hoped. Do I say I'm sorry here? I mean it in term of commiseration, right? And obviously, I know what what she's talking about. I know what she's going through. I went through a heck of a something my own self here. I am going to say it. Thank you. But you doing this for us, that's better than any sympathy. Dolores springs to her feet. Right, we have a plan, we have an operative. Everyone except Grieve must be back here, ready to burn the lists. We don't want to grab them and miss our chance. Dismissed! Okay, I mean, I don't know. Do I think she's trustworthy? I guess maybe a little bit more than I did before. This whole thing could be very bad. I am not allowed to... Oh yeah, because it's daytime. Duh. Give me enough fire escapes and you'll have your route. Okay, lower difficulty engineering check. Seems like a good way to go. So we're a little bit short on cash now. If we head back to the factory, we can keep working the line. Bosses have lowered wages. What a bunch of assholes. But successful line checks are still our best opportunity, right? For overall money making. And you know, a revolutionary idea or two might come out of it as well. It costs extra energy to take the mixed outcome. I think I'm gonna accept it. Just trying to have cash on hand. Okay. So, pretty dangerous. We're good on a 7. I mean, this is something we're only going to have to do once, right? There's no clock associated. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it all the way down here. Let's really, really, really make this safe. Hatches unscrewed, windows unlatched. You engineer your way in. Yep, that's what engineering is. You creep through the top floor to the recruitment minister's office. The room is huge and lavish, with a large desk, shelves of folders, and 3 filing cabinets. We'll inspect the desk. A few coins are piled in neat rows. The rest is covered in folders. Not that I don't want the coins, but first things first. What's on the desk right now? You flip through the folders, grabbing any files that look relevant. Well, what about the cabinets? You turn to the filing cabinets, easing open drawer after drawer. Finally, you found a fat folder labeled draft lists. You heave it out and pack it into your satchel. And then I don't seem to have been discovered yet, so snatch those coins. And then I guess we're out of here. You've dashed back the way you came, emerging from the window and springing out onto the rooftops. And when we clamber down to street level, you slide down. The drainpipe creaks, but it holds. Dropping down to street level, you blend into the crowd. And slipping from shadow to shadow, weaving through the crowd, you head back to Witch's Crossing. Do you have them? You nod. Were you followed? No. In and out like clockwork. There is no mention of me making sure that I wasn't followed, so obviously I'm a little worried about that. You flip open the satchel and dump the papers onto the tunnel floor. Dolores picks through the sheets. Oh, we've got the draft lists and these other documents. Reports on army transports, armories. There's a lot here. This is big. With this... What? Well done, Private. You've done better than any of us could have hoped. With this, we could stop the draft, maybe even stop the war. You gather the draft lists and toss them in the fire barrel. They go up like tinder. Okay, well, we have successfully avoided the draft, that's for damn sure. So, what do we want now? Do we want to start working on something else? I'm getting, I feel like it would be sensible to start taking some levels of sneak. Maybe we're getting better at that, right? Or we're doing enough of it that maybe we should be getting better at it. But I also wonder to some degree if if it's going to keep being divided the way it's currently being divided, where like engineer is going to give us a way around having to be sneaky in the more traditional sense. And if the choice is often going to be sneak or engineer yourself a problem, an answer to your problem, then obviously we're going to want to go with engineer. In which case, sneak is we should put the point somewhere else, right? Into it, maybe skirmish. We haven't done a lot of skirmishing, but maybe we're an okay fighter actually. The fact that we have endure and in particular dogged speaks to, you know, a level of physical toughness that certainly will help you in a skirmish. Maybe we can fight a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and take a point of skirmish, I think. We could just hold on to it until we find something that we need, and that's definitely a more mechanically sound way to play the game, but I kind of want to just dig in here character-wise. That said, the skirmish perks aren't very interesting. Each time you succeed at a sneak action, there's a 40% chance you'll get extra money out of it. That's pretty fun. I don't know that our character is much of a fast talker. I don't think our character really has this particular kind of gift. Maybe we're starting to figure out how to intuit a little. We make a lot of intuit rolls as well. Maybe we're starting to sort of like get the feeling. And again, not a very interesting roll. Not a very interesting set of perks. But I would say Intuit and Skirmish maybe make the most sense to me for directions to develop the character. Or we could just keep focusing on the stuff we're doing now. Maybe we just push Endure. Maybe that's like the thing we're really getting better at. Work in the factory is making us real tough. Okay, so then we got 2 more units of time. I can sell plasm somewhere, right? We don't get to know how much for until we actually do it, though. I bet it's a bunch. I'm going to try to get some more. All right. What an escape. Okay, then I think, unfortunately, we're going to go sleep in the sewers. I mean, at this point, at least we know that this place is, like, relatively safe for us. We know our way around down here pretty well. I wish that affected your sleep check. You know, like if you're in a place that you're more familiar with, it's a little safer. But stuff's tough. Oof. The nightmares. They're still pretty bad. All right, we've got more stuff coming. We're making good headway here on pushing our personal goals forward, and I think we've really established our legs, economically speaking. Like, I trust that we will be able to survive going forward. We can keep eating, keep buying solace, keep sleeping safely in a sewer, and while obviously that's not the life that many would choose, it is a life that is at least available to us, and we get to choose that over the other thing. So that's something. I do think this episode is going to end here for today. A little bit shorter than usual. Apologies, but must be. So, thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, hopefully we're going to turn this solid footing into something a little bit more offensive. And we'll see you then.